Good morning. This is the 2020 card set. This is the SSFA playoff game, round one, between the San Diego Chargers, the LA Chargers. They've traveled all the way up to New York to Meadowlands to face the New York Jets. Actually, it's probably not the Meadowlands anymore. Some special stadium. What's the stadium where the Seahawks won the Super Bowl? So, um, I should know the name of that stadium. Jets and Giants share it. No, I'm gonna have to look it up. Anyway, this is the opening drive. The Jets got the ball first. J.K. Dobbins ran for 12, got a first down, and then a 2-yard flat pass wrong on an interception split from Carr to T.J. Hawkinson. Sets up 2nd and 8. Let me just double check that. MetLife Stadium. That is the one. Curl to DJ Moore. It was King Dobbins. Paul going with the early key. The Jets are coached by Tom Cook, and the Chargers are coached by Paul Mankiewicz. These guys have played each other for years, decades even. So this should be a good one. See if I can pull up the standings. So we have the Chargers as the 11th seed. They won the play-in game against, I believe, who did they play? The Giants, maybe? No, the Giants played the 49ers. What we can see here. Oh, this is the playoff round one playing game. So this is their game. So the Chargers are playing the Jets. The Seahawks beat the Chiefs, and the Giants beat the 49ers. And early exit for Ed, which is unusual. So that game went to double overtime or overtime. I'm catching everybody up on that. Yeah, it was 2 overtimes. Giants won 2017. So that's pretty cool. Latavius Murray takes it on first down and gains 4 yards. So we are up to date. 1st and 10 inside Charger territory. The Chargers beat the Jets in the regular season in an upset. Come from behind victory from what I remember. Let's pull that up. Still waiting for a new play. Tom has had some technical difficulties early this year. I hope this game goes off smoothly without a hitch, but this delay has me a little bit worried. Here is the box score from the regular season. Will Lutz with a field goal to win it with no time left. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're in trouble here, folks. So we just gotta stand by and see when the new game number pops up. Yep, we have a new number. All right, we're back underway. 2nd and 6. 4-3 showing blitz for the Chargers. Let's take a look at these teams. That Chargers front line is one of the best defensive lines, 4-3, that you'll see. 6'12" Brandon Graham, 6'11" DeForest Buckner, 6'5" Grady Jarrett, and 5'12" Stephon Tuitt. Tom's offensive line, the Jets go for 4'7", 6'4", 6'7", 6'5", and 6'7". So 7's at the tackles. Quick slant to Hawkinson. There's a 5 middle linebacker there. He can't make, well, there's no play to be made. It's just a 5-yard completion on Carr's card. Third and 1 now. Mark Ingram checks in. Patrick Ricard is the blocking back in front of him, 6'5". That offensive line, like I said, 4 6s with the run. We did the pass blocking, but that's pretty tough to stop when it comes to run block challenges. I hope the delay is strategy based and not another technical lockup. I'm afraid it looks like it's going to crash. So we just are in a holding pattern again. Well, we'll just, like I said, we're just hanging out, waiting for the new number. And we may not be able to broadcast it. Ed had a problem with his game, and he just stopped posting game numbers, so we didn't get a broadcast of that one. But I don't think anybody was looking to broadcast it anyway. You know what? I'm going to take this time to reboot as well. Be right back. All right, guys, we are back. Let me share the screen. I rebooted as well. The first down was picked up. We have a quick out right now to TJ Hawkinson, 1st and 10 on the opening drive of the game. It's going to hit a short gain. That'll take us from the 32 down to the 19. 1st and goal inside the red zone. I rebooted as well, so my animation should be nice and crisp now, or at least as fast as you can. Paul going with the 4-3 showing blitz, kind of egging Tom on to throw short, maybe, hoping to get a sack of a Carr, but instead it's a run call. It's going to guess run on Carr's card, take it down to the 8. This time it goes to Brandon Cooks. First and goal at the 8. Jets now in a full house formation. Again, this is the opening drive of the game. We've had 2 crashes. So anytime there's a little bit of a pause, it gets me worried. Carr is 6 for 6 for 51 yards so far. Again, 4-3 showing blitz. Paul looking to flex that D-line muscle inside the 10 where you can't throw flat. Instead, it's an inside run to Mark Ingram. On his card, guess strong for 3. Second goal at the 5. A little early morning, Sunday morning, Strat-O-Matic playoff football. We got the formation is 3 running back, 2 tight end, not full house. Ingram and Murray in there with 2 tight ends. Evan Ingram and T.J. Hawkinson lined up as the second tight end. It's a slant to Hawkinson. The pass rush is on. Defender extra short game. That's a touchdown. Levi Wallace can't make the play. Derek Carr threads the ball in there to his tight end. And it is now 7-0 Jets after the extra point, which is up and good. And kickoff is returned out to the 26. No animation. Thanks, Strat-O-Matic. I'd rather have it no animation and not crash, though. That works for me. Nine minutes to go in the first quarter. Melvin Gordon in the backfield for the Chargers, who are quarterbacked by Ryan Fitzpatrick. They play a 2-tight, 2-wide set. We've got Jonnu Smith and Donald Parham as the tight ends. Nelson Aguilar and Gabriel Davis. Gabe Davis. It's a long gain on a short pass, 3-man in zone, hit the 12, and Gabe Davis, the hero of the Bills' playoff comeback, failed comeback, and ultimately lost that game, the AFC Championship, to the Bengals. And Fitzpatrick to Gabe Davis for 59 yards sets up the Chargers. First and 10 at the 15, inside the red zone. Quick out left to Parham. Guessed wrong on Fitzmagic's card for 9. Second and 1. Full house. Todd Gurley and Devin Singletary check in the backfield. Is it Caden Smith? What's that, K. Smith? Keith Smith. Emmanuel Sanders checks in as the wide out in this formation. It's going to Gurley. Gurley's being keyed. It doesn't matter. It goes on the D card for 2 yards. First and goal to 4. These two did play each other, like I said earlier, in the regular season. So they're aware of how they like to use their personnel in certain situations. I'm sure they've each done some scouting. Off tackle right to Gurley. There's a run call, 2-minute zone. That's stuffed. Second goal to 4. Back-to-back runs by Gurley. See if he keeps it on the ground or if he tries to get it to Sanders or one of the backs out of the backfield. I think they both can catch. Gurley used to be great at catching short passes. Still good. His last card. Or you come back. You gotta play. It's a curl to Sanders. Guessed wrong, but even though he brings Sanders in that formation, he's not a maxed receiver. I wonder if he has a better choice there. But perhaps not. Third and goal now to 4. 3-4 showing blitz. Haven't even had a chance to set up the offensive line to defensive line matchup here. Pitch out right to Singletary. It's going to be -5. It's going to be field goal time for Will Lutz. Guessed right. Guessed wrong. Had some chances, but guessed right. Not as many. Field goes up and good. The great news is there was no crashes on that drive, so hopefully the reboots have fixed things. Jets take over after the touchback at their own 25. J.K. Dobbins in there. Square into Cooks. It's going to go for 1 interception split on the D card. 2-4 pick. Oh, yeah. The Jets are the home team, so they have the average run, good pass defense card. And the Chargers come in with the average card. Inside run to Dobbins. Guessed wrong, nobody home. Short game, +11. First and 10 to 37. Dobbins has those big hits, so you'll see a steady dose of him on this side of the field for sure. Inside run to Dobbins, nobody home. Another short gain. Dobbins averaging 13 yards a run. The Jets are suddenly into Chargers territory. Just keep feeding the beast. Now on this side of the 50, you got Latavius Murray in the game. Even though Dobbins is great guessed wrong, guessed right, he's got a lot more 0, -1 runs type thing. Quick slant to Hawkinson. Guessed wrong. Short gain. So 3 short gains back to back to back. I've taken the ball from the 25 on one end down to the 30 on the other. 7-3 Jets. Still in the first quarter. Third drive of the game. Second drive for the Jets. There is a guessed right flat pass or looking pass, and it hits the D card, -1 or -3. Jets defense is full of 5s and 6s. The Chargers defense, they've got some 5s. They've got 5 at all those 6s on the D line. They got Joe Hayden, Terrell Edmonds, and Marcus Williams as 5s in the secondary. Defensive end -1 or +5. If those tests come up, guessed right or guessed wrong, it's going to benefit the Chargers. Loses a yard, 3rd and 11 at the 31. Brandon Graham makes the play. It was a white die 6 too. It will be interesting to see how the Jets play this. Maybe run the ball up the middle, try to hit that the boxes on 8. Paul's not showing blitz. Goes 3-2-6. Leave the pass rushing up to the D line. But again, you have an 11 against the 7 on each side. 5-10 up the middle against the 7. So it's going to be tough to bring down Derek Carr. Square into Guyton. There is a 4 DB there covering the look-in zone. And incomplete on Guyton's card. So the field goal kicker comes on, Cairo Santos. The adjustable field goal is in play here at the 31. Here's the snap. The kick is up and good on a 12. Did not get adjusted and was only going to miss on 10 or 11. Well, it was modified by 1, but moved it from the 31 to the 32. Let's take a look at that. If it would have been moved back 1 more yard, yeah, it would have been missed because he's 2 through 5 from the 33-yard line. So we got a brief pause here as Tom asks for a moment. 10-3 Jets. 1:30 to go in the first quarter. Here's the kickoff. 35-yard return by Deontay Harris. New Orleans Saints, Deontay Harris. He's got a plus 75 on 2. Hit the plus 35. Good field position for the Chargers. Let me pull up the standings too. Two-yard guest run by Gordon. Fly to Nelson Aguilar. Hits the 7. So he hit a long gain on a short pass to Gabriel Davis. And this time he cranks it up to Aguilar. See, now Aguilar should be the split end. That's a mistake. Oh no, never mind. I thought he was maxed. I guess none of these guys are maxed. Devontae Parker? I guess Sanders is the best bet. 3rd and 8, crossing pattern to Sanders being correctly doubled. And down goes Fitzmagic. Myles Garrett gets the sack. 88% chance of a sack. Garrett faced up against Ryan Bates. And again, it was such a quick drive, I didn't get a chance to set up the offensive and defensive matchups. Inside run to Dobbins. Gets struck, but it's stuffed this time. Snap fumble. Offense gets it back. Derek Carr has a medium-low snap fumble of 6.8. It's not the minimum number of 1. Got bit there, but luckily he was able to recover it. "12-yard pickup sets up 3rd and 1. So the snap fumble lost a few yards, and that's why we have this situation. Lost 3 yards exactly. Tried to advance the fumble, and DJ Humphries lost a couple yards. Ingram's in there. And that's a pickup of 3 yards. Patrick Ricard makes the block. So 1st and 10 out to the 34. Five-yard flat pass gets right. 1st down. On 1st down, I should say. 2nd down and 5. Dobbins, Hawkinson, Ingram. 2 tights, 2 wides. Inside run to Dobbins. Guessed wrong, but there's a man there, and he stuffs it. Linebacker in zone, -1 or +5. Marcus Williams, a free safety, was in there, not a linebacker. Marcus has got a 6, which stood up well to the white die 5. 3rd and 6. Looks like a 4 wide set. Paul's going with the "Are we okay?" Because of all the technical difficulties. And we are okay. We're just checking something. Dobbins is in there. Maybe he's going to try to run for this. He stays base. 2 tights, 2 wides. Got a 4-0 up the middle and Isaiah Simmons, so he could break and tame there, and a 5-0 off to the left side of the line, right linebacker. Fly to DJ Moore. And it's going to be picked off. Hits the interception spot on the D card with 0 men in zone. So there were some opportunities for some big plays there. But Levi Wallace steps in front and makes the play. We are in the 2nd quarter now. So let's look at this offensive line, defensive line matchup on this side of the ball. Left tackle Ryan Bates is 0-5. 5-5 left guard Joe Tooney. Sam Mustafer is the 4-3 center. Wyatt Teller, 6-3 guard. And Elijah Wilkinson, 0-3 tackle. Pitch out right to Melvin Gordon, guessed right, goes nowhere. 3 yards, guessed wrong. The D line for the Jets. Myles Garrett, 6'12", we've already seen him make a big play. Kenny Clark, 5'2", and Akeem Hicks, 5'4". Kevin Pierre-Louis is a 5'04". Eric Kendricks, 6'5". Levante David, 6'6". Slanted Jonnu Smith, covered by a 6. And it's going to hit a must run on Fitzmagic's card for 6 yards, sitting up 3rd and 4. So all those 6s and 5s in the. We got Jamal Adams as a 6'6" free safety. We got 3 6 linebackers, 1 6 on the D line, 3 6s in the secondary. John Johnson, Jamal Adams, and Marshawn Lattimore to go along with Bashad Breeland. So 3rd and 4 at the 42. return. Smythe checks in as the blocking back, 4-7. Gordon, Smith, Davis, all covered by 6s. Inside run to Gordon. Guessed wrong, but there's a man in the zone. Blocking back, +3 or +1, can't make the play. And we're kind of in a little bit of no man's land. Paul might punt, though. He's a by-the-book kind of coach. Pin him deep, play defense. But he's going to go for it. Go big or go home. I like it. This is what I would do. Although all those 6 linebackers makes it tough to flat pass. You hit the D card, you want to maybe run or go throw short, try to get a dump off. It's not a great matchup for the offense. Garrett against Bates. It's a fly to Aguilar. Guessed right, Newman in zone, but Aguilar's covered by 5, and here comes that pass rush. Again, Myles Garrett, 71% chance of a sack against Ryan Bates. The other numbers would have resulted in a dump off and possibly a first down, but it's that one bad matchup, and down goes Fitzpatrick. 2nd and 4. 2 for 4 for 68 yards for Fitzpatrick. Quick out right to Evan Ingram, nobody there. Guessed right, 5-minute zone. 5-yard pickup. As you can tell, it's early here on the West Coast. I've still got the cobwebs. Waking up early to call a Strat football game. 2nd and 5. Inside run to Dobbins. Guess wrong, 27 yards. Haven't seen enough run calls today from Paul. But it's tough when you do call run. It's guessed wrong flat passes, guessed wrong short passes. But Dobbins keeping up his 13-yard per carry average. Only 5 carries so far, but he's making them count. Quick slant to Hawkinson, nobody there. It's going to be an 8-yard pickup. Guess wrong on Carr's card. Carr, 13-16 for 104. The touchdown and the pick. Off tackle left to Ingram, guessed right. And there's a 1-yard loss, sitting up 3rd and 3. Chargers trying to hold him to a field goal chance. Ingram's got some good chances to pick up 3 yards, even guessed right. 5, 8, 11, 13, 14. 14 chances to pick up 3 yards, guessed right, on his card. But Murray's in there now on 3rd and 3. Square into Cooks. It's a 5 there. And it's going to go on the bailout 10 roll, -3 or -1. So guess wrong, guess right, doesn't matter. Joe Hayden makes the play as the defender. And even if he didn't make the play, it still wouldn't have gone anywhere. And the kick is good, 13-3. So the Chargers make a stand. They'll take over at their own 18. They're looking to get Melvin Gordon going. Every time he runs the ball, it seems to go on the D card or it's guessed right. He's got a pretty nice card, especially some big hits off tackle on the edges. A little bit of a barbell card. Crossing pattern to Gabe Davis. He's trying to recreate that long gain, and he hit the 2 instead of the 12. Defender X or long gain, and Gabe's covered by Marshawn Lattimore, blanketed by Mr. Lattimore. Pitch out right to Gordon, guess wrong. And the offensive onside in, Jonnu Smith is a 4, but he makes the block, setting up 3rd and 1. 13-3 Jets. Chargers would love to cut this to a one-score game, either with a touchdown or a field goal. But step one is picking up a first down. If you look at the box score, they've only gotten 2 first downs all day today. 0 for 3 on third down, 0 for 1 on fourth down. Off tackle left to Gordon. Guessed right, there's a man there. And it's going to go no gain. He all out keys. It's tough to throw flats like you might normally would with those 6 linebackers there. And he will punt. He's not going to do anything crazy like I might. 42-yard punt. Down to Jakeem Grant at the 31. He returns at 21 yards, and the Jets will take over in Charger territory, looking to extend this 10-point lead. Pitch out left to Dobbins, going to pick up 9. Let's go into these. Let me go grab those. So based on what I see here, if the Jets win, they will face the New Orleans Saints in the next round. If the Chargers win, they will face the Rams. Quick out left to Ingram. Guessed right. And it's a sack. We've seen a couple of big sacks from the Jets today. That's the first impact that the Chargers defensive line has made. Myles Garrett's got 2 sacks already. DeForest Buckner gets 1 going up against Brandon Scherf on a flat pass even. 31% chance of a sack. And the random roll was 3. 3rd and 3. Big play here. Might be 2-down territory. Actually, it most definitely is 2-down territory. Davius Murray checks in. Paul hoping to guess this right. It's a fly to DJ Moore. It is guessed right. And it's on the offensive card. Incomplete on Derek Carr's card. Guessed wrong, of course, would have been a receiver reading, and Moore's got a pretty nice card. It is not 4-down territory. He decides to kick it. Gets him inside the 10. Looking to play field position with only 2:06 to go in the half. I believe the Chargers defense takes a timeout. I believe the Chargers get the ball to start the second half. Let's look at the ball possession. Yeah, the Jets had the ball first, so the Chargers will get the ball first. Again, trying to maybe get into field goal range. Get a field goal, cut it to 7, get the ball in the second half, drive it down, tie it up. Jets going big, 3-4 showing blitz. See if they actually do bring the house. They bring in a 0-10 defensive end and a 0-4-7. It's a quick slant to Jonnu Smith with a full-out blitz coming. It's going to pick up 7, and will take us to the 2-minute warning. The Chargers have the ball at the 16-yard line. All 3 timeouts left. Again, they're still stuck on 2 first downs, I believe. Yep. And looking for their first third down conversion of the day. They haven't gotten that. Well, they're not even in that position yet. 2nd and 3. So they'd like to even avoid third downs. Just pick it up here. Off tackle draw right. Guessed wrong. And it's a 25-yard run by Melvin Gordon. Hits one of those big numbers. Out to the 41. Interesting, it was a run fumble check of 12. And random was 21. If he had called a run, it would have been a fumble because it would have been key. That number doubles. Guessed right. And keyed would be probably in the high 20s or low 30s. Gordon back there, 2 tights, 2 wides. Paul's looking to run and flat pass a little bit. Double teaming Aguilar. He's got the right guy. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. It is not picked off. But it's incomplete. You hate those on defense when you got them correctly double teamed on a flat, and then they complete it anyway. Like Carr and Fitzpatrick are both capable of completing a double team flat pass. Fitzpatrick's a little more dangerous with this interception split on 10. But you can roll a 6 or 7 on your own card, or 12. Look at that flat pass card guess wrong. You haven't seen that too many times today. 2nd and 10. 3-4, not showing blitz. He does have the 0-10 in there. Opting for pass rush in this situation over run defense. See if we see another draw play by Gordon. The old cat and mouse. It's a run call. Fly to Nelson Aguilar, covered by a 5, and it's going to be picked off on the D card. He had him where he wanted him. Guessed wrong on a deep pass, but landed on the D card, just like the earlier pick. But this is the good D card with 1 man in zone, and that's intercepted on 2 through 6, 11 and 12. 4-3 showing blitz here as the Jets try to capitalize on the turnover. Really strong defensive game for the Jets so far. The roles have certainly helped, but Tom's calling a good game. And there's a good call by Paul. Screen right to J.K. Dobbins. He had 2 men in that zone, and it's -2. Gets out of bounds, stopping the clock with 1:30 to go. You know, that Dobbins card, guessed wrong, is in the back of Paul's mind. Does he dare call run here? Nope, he calls pass. Good call because it is a pass. And there comes the pass rush again. A slanted T.J. Hawkinson. Grady Jarrett beats Shaq Mason, and it'll be 3rd and 17, and the defense uses a timeout. Now this is where you had to be careful if you're Paul here, because watch him stay base, bring in J.K. Dobbins, and run at those 0 linebackers. Just a matter of using Marcus Williams to replace the correct one. But then you got to watch out for DJ Moore over the top if you do that. Oh, it goes with Latavius Murray instead of J.K. Dobbins. So better pass protection. He can still run. It's got the short gain stack there on off tackle, but he does run. It's going to pick up 8 yards. Then it'll be 4th and 9, and here comes the punt team. Chargers used their last time out. We got a good one here, folks. 13-3 Jets. Chargers finding it hard to move the ball. Maybe they can hit one of those edge numbers on Gordon's card. 16 carries left. No, they're not even doing that. They're going with Parham, blocking back in the backfield, 4 wide. What is Fitzpatrick's completion on a long pass? It is on 4. A high chance of interception. Must runs are there. Pretty good must run card for an old guy. 3-3-5 is the defense. Crossing pattern to Gabriel Davis, 3-minute zone. He's going to run for 6. Can't get out of bounds on a must run, which I think is a bad rule. Takes it down to 45 seconds. Still says 4 wide. Still stays 4 wide. The great news is there hasn't been any more crashes. Crossing pattern to Parker, 4-minute zone. It was on the interception split on the D card, turns into a dump off, but it doesn't work well for the Chargers as they miss on Gabriel Davis's receiver card. That was the asterisk test. Garrett against Parham. Miles Garrett is a 6'12" 1, so the 1 asterisk against Parham's 5 blocking back rating. Now we got a blocking back halfback set with Durham Smythe in there, blocking for Melvin Gordon. Pitch out right to Gordon, hits keyed, and he's gonna pick up 3. Defensive end +3 or -2. If he hadn't put the man in the zone, that would have been a first down. So some really nice, effective calls today by Tom. It's a fumble. Oh my goodness, a fumble punt recovered by the defense. That's going to give the Chargers a chance. They can run one play and be able to spike it. Oh, wait a minute. They advanced it. Holy cow. They don't show the animation, but look at the score. They picked up that fumble and tried to advance it. Hit a short gain, maybe the long gain. Either way, they picked it up and ran it in for a touchdown. So it was suddenly 13-10 just like that. What a stroke of bad luck. I'm gonna exit and rejoin so I can get the stats right, because as a spectator we missed the special teams advancement, and it looks like we're going to be locked here anyway. Yep. So let me get out of this. And we'll jump back in again. Two tights, two wides against a 3-2-6, and maybe try to hit wrong Dobbins. Pitch out, here it is. Man in the zone's going to pick up 9. Second and 1 at the Jets 34. Suddenly that 10-point lead is tightened up a little bit, thanks to the turnover, the scoop and score on the fumbled punt. I thought you weren't allowed to advance a muffed punt. That's an interesting point. Is there a difference between a muffed punt and a fumbled punt? Inside run draw to Dobbins. It's going to pick up 12 thanks to the block of the center. Let's look at the box score. Yes, only 3 first down for the Chargers, but they're only trailing by 3. The defense, the offense of the Jets has done pretty well, but a couple times sacks has put them in 3rd and long situations. We got the Gabriel Davis fumble recovery, advanced 26 yards for a touchdown. Jets have 1 timeout left. Fly to DJ Moore, single cover, Noman in zone, and hits the 7 on Carr's card. Put the other highlights on. $13-10 Jets. Last play of the first half, square into Brandon Cooks. There's going to be a sack, no fumble. DeForest Buckner again. So both defenses are playing fantastic. Special teams really helped out the Chargers. Paul says, interesting first half. It was an interesting first half. It was entertaining. Thank goodness the crashes went away. So you always got to reboot your machine before you start playing Strat-O-Matic Football. I don't know why. It seems to be buggy if you have all games up. So Tom's asked for a couple minutes. Again, we'll bring over the standings again. So we got the Chargers Jets. So if the Jets win, they'll be the real number 6 seed. And they'll play the number 3 seed, Saints. If the Chargers win, they'll be the de facto number 8 seed. They'll play the number 1 seed, Rams. This is the last game of playoff round 1. Let's take a look at that giant Niner game. Look at that. They had other highlights turned on, which is cool. Looks like the Niners tied it on an Alex Ingold 8-yard pass from Drew Brees with 45 seconds left. Then they went scoreless in the overtime period. There was a blocked punt. Mitch Wishnowski's had a punt blocked, but the Giants missed a field goal after that. It's a 35-yard field goal. It's a shorty. Then we had an interception late in the first overtime by the Giants. Mika Fitzpatrick would set up that Tyler Bass field goal. He got his chance to redeem himself. Pretty cool. Stats mirror each other. 4-15 on third down. Both teams had 21, 22 first downs. 3 picks by San Francisco's Drew Brees. That was the key to that one. Although the turnovers were like 3-2. So, all right, let's see if we're back ready to start the action. Still waiting. But yeah, to be down only 3 points after being, Tom's had 2 or 3, I think at least 2 perfectly called keys on Melvin Gordon that has thwarted third down attempts or stopped just stopped drives, really. Carr's completed 70% of his passes, 14-20, while Fitzpatrick's only completed 3 of 9. Dobbins had a big 27-yard run. Gordon's had a big 25-yard run. Davis had that 59-yard catch, setting up the Chargers' first field goal. Close game, just like their regular season matchup. All right, we got somebody backstage. Let's go. Nathan Baylor. What's up, Nathan?
How's it going?
Good. You're up early on this Sunday morning too?
I haven't been to bed yet.
Oh yeah, you're on that shifted sleep schedule, right? With the
I have been. Yeah, I slept in yesterday, and then ended up playing poker last night till like 5 or so, and then I got a game here at 9, so I figured I'd stay up for that. Saw this.
Wow. How'd you do with the poker?
Good. I won like
Nice.
$8.
No, that'll work.
Yeah.
So, have you watched much of the game, or are you just coming in right now?
Just about from the 2-minute warning, and
Yeah.
I thought you couldn't advance the punt fumble either. I don't know what the deal is.
No, but I mean, Strat-O-Matic has never been that way. I just think it's that way in the NFL. I think there's a difference between a fumbled punt and a muffed punt.
Well,
But I don't know if Strat's actually when that
they're
game was
running
made.
with it and then fumbled it. I gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. So, they don't show it. They don't show the muffed punts. They only show you probably count those as the 0-yard returns or -1 yard returns or whatever. So when it lands on a fumble, it's an actual fumble where he's caught the punt, run, and then fumble it. But there's way too many of those because you don't see those in the NFL very much. You do see the muffed ones though, where the guy can't catch it and drops the punt. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. Maybe a question for Glenn. Quick slant to Jonnu Smith here. Nobody in the zone. And it's a 30-yard pickup. See, I noticed Paul hasn't been throwing flats as much because of maybe being a little bit hesitant to throw at those 6 linebackers. But when that's the strength of your team, you got to do it. Now that in that particular case, it was because he moved the linebackers out of the zone. But
Well, I mean, if you're not wanting to throw at sixes, you still got sixes all over the secondary too. So
true.
I just got to throw where you want to throw.
Oh my
Ooh,
goodness! A guest right flat pass. He tries
we
to
fumbled it.
he got it back though. Jets got it back. So we talked a little bit earlier about that interception split being on 10. It was still a low split die, 2 through 4, 12, but it hit this 3, and that'll give the Jets the ball in Charger territory. So did you play the Chargers the Chargers or the Jets this year?
I played the Chargers. I remember because he said that I have the best offense he's ever seen in this league.
Nice.
Like, oh, my offense last year was a lot better, I think.
Yeah, I just talked a little bit about the matchups. If the Chargers win, they'll get a rematch with you. Look
Yeah.
at that interception split again. This time it hits the 4 instead of the 3. So
This is an interesting matchup in that Tom built up his O line on offense, and Paul obviously has an awesome D line.
yeah, the battle of the Titans up front in the trenches.
When the Jets have the ball.
Yeah, of a possible 11 guys between the offensive linemen, tight ends, and the D line, you have like 8 sixes, something like that, 7 or 8 sixes.
So I don't even know if I have a 6 on my team.
No, you're obviously had a great season as the number 1 seed.
Well, I have offense. Lots of skill position stuff.
You finished 14-2. We'll take a look at that later. 3rd and 3 here. Yeah, 510 points scored for you this year. Your only 2 losses were to the Browns and the Giants. It's a receiver reading, and it's good for 7 yards on Evan Ingram's card. I wish they would put a 3rd panel there. I don't like that when it changes real quick from the.
Yeah, I don't either. Lots of times you don't even see it, and some of the picks you never ever see the split.
Right.
They're just picked.
Chargers just looking to hold them to a field goal chance. It's a guessed wrong flat pass, but there were 2 men in zone, but it lands on Carr's card. Yeah, so your offense led by Patrick Mahomes and Gus Edwards. Man, and Boston Scott too. That's a nice 1-2 punch. And you got Antonio Gibson on the bench.
You traded me Boston Scott, right?
Yep, I did. And I'm
Miles Sanders and Salmspa.
Yeah, what a great comeback and payoff that Miles Sanders card turned out to be in your Sansa playoff game. I could broadcast that little bit. -1 run there on 2nd and 1 turns it into 3rd and 2.
That's a brutal roll.
I call that the bailout 10 roll. It happens also on the
every zone, right?
Yeah, but it also happens on the defense flat pass card. Where they have that -3, -1 split if you don't roll a 6.
Yeah.
So that 10 can help the defense when it lands on their card. Ingram and Hawkinson in there. 2 tight, 2 wide. Fly to DJ Moore, all-out blitz. My strength against your strength. And this time, the offensive line holds up DJ Moore.
What was his percentage there? Is that a 60?
It was a 61% chance of a sack.
Oh, my gosh.
Who's already gotten 2 sacks today up against Scherf.
That's rough.
Go big or go home, Tom. Tom hits it.
Well, he's hoping he's calling around, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably. But he figured even with a sack, he still would probably be in decent field goal range.
Oh, yeah.
Unless it was one of those -13 sacks or something like that.
I could see not wanting to try to pound it against that line.
Double teaming Aguilar. It's going to result in a sack. Akeem Hicks, the 5'4", beats Elijah Wilkinson. I've seen Tom's brought in the 0-10 quite a few times today in to replace Hicks, but Hicks
I
doesn't.
recall Paul's offensive line is not very good.
No, it isn't. He's got a couple of fives.
It's pretty bad. In fact, I probably sacked him a lot when we played, if I had to guess.
Crossing pattern to Gabe Davis, covered by a 6, so that's not going anywhere. That's the tough part with Tom's defense, is that all those 5s and 6s everywhere. See, who is the lowest seed then left?
It's Paul. I'd play Paul if he wins.
Right, but if he doesn't win, you're going to play Joe.
Yeah, he's got a tough team.
Get a chance to avenge one of your regular season losses. Third and 13. 4 wide. Devontae Parker covered by a 4. He's being double covered. Crossing pattern to Gabe Davis, covered by a 5. And it's incomplete. That's tough when it's 4th and 13 and your quarterback's short pass card only has an 11 and 12. You're hoping for it to land on the D card and hit a receiver reading. 50-yard punt, 3-yard return. And the Jets will take over with a 10-point lead on their own 31. So Joe did the unthinkable and knocked out Ed in the first round in double overtime.
Joe's got a great team. I mean, Ed's team I think was pretty good too, though, and he's the top defense I think in the league, scoring wise.
Yeah, good.
Although Tom's team is probably the scariest on paper as far as the ratings go.
Yeah, but this has been like a really competitive season. You have 11 teams with double-digit wins. 2 9-7 teams couldn't even make the mini playoffs. Crossing pattern to Cooks, blitz coming, and boom, Brandon Graham this time beats DJ Humphries. So you can beat those 7s if you got a big guy like Graham on the edge. 35% chance of a sack. 3rd and 16. So this one's far from over. Shouldn't be writing the Chargers off yet, but they're going to need to figure out a way to crack that Jets defense. Like you said, those ratings, it just makes it so tough. Inside run, Jordan Murray, nobody there. Didn't hit imagine hitting the plus 25 there. That would have been huge. Or even a short game. But instead, it'll be a punt, 4th and 11. 60-yard boomer. Marquez Callaway doesn't have a great card, but...
Well, Paul has Devin Singletary.
Yes, he hasn't used it yet.
Card this year.
He likes those edge numbers with Gordon, I guess.
No, he's good. I mean, I see Gordon's good. He's got the bigger gains, the breakaway ones. But
Yeah.
I would...
Might be time to switch it up, maybe.
I mean, anytime there might be some guest wrong running, Singletary is probably your better option.
3-4 showing blitz. Look at how he substituted Marcus Golden in there instead of Jean-Pierre. And it's going to be a sack. Chase Winovich, that 0-10 defensive end, boosted to an 11 with the D guys coming. So 2nd and 16. Tom looking to put the hammer down. Fitzpatrick's 4-13 today for 105 and 2 picks. Not a great day for Fitzmagic. Maybe he just doesn't like playing against the Jets in one of his former teams.
Playing against, 10 sixes?
Yeah, nobody
I
likes
don't
that.
like playing against that either.
Oh, it's a 33-yard run as the 5 nose tackle Kenny Clark is beaten by the white die 6. Melvin Gordon trots it out to the 42, and the drive is alive. Gordon averaging 9 yards a carry. J.K. Dobbins was averaging 13 yards a carry earlier as he kept hitting short game after short game for the Jets. So turnabout's fair play as Gordon's hitting a couple of big runs. quick out right to Johnu Smith. There's a white die 6 against the only 5 linebacker in there, Kevin Pierre-Louis, ex-Seahawk. 1st and 10 down to the 38. So who are you playing at 9 o'clock today?
Spring Fever, Doug Riley.
Nice. Inside run to Gordon. Guessed wrong. Nobody there. Short gain. Gordon's got some short gains himself, so the Chargers are on the verge here of making it a one-score game with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Gordon didn't like all that talk of us talking about Devin Singletary. He's saying, hey, stick with me. I'll pay off for you.
I think they pair well together. Gordon's a little better wrong and got some big playability. And Singletary, if you're in a 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6 maybe-ish range, or even 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. At least I used him a lot in those situations this year.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you have Singletary in the league, right? Which league is that?
I had him in Somifa and also have him in S28.
There's a short pass, 4-man in zone. Hits the must run on Fitzpatrick's card on 2nd and 8, and he loses a yard. Pretty nice must run card there for a 38-year-old or whatever he was. Third and 9. He doesn't want to get sacked and get out of field goal range, but he doesn't want to necessarily give up on this play either. Tough one. Flat pass, maybe? He's not showing blitz, which makes it a little bit easier to try to throw short. But you always got that Myles Garrett against Ryan Bates matchup that worries you. And even more so, the Winovich against Elijah Wilkinson matchup. Flare right to Parham. He does keep it flat. And it's going to hit the white die 6. Look at that. Down inside the 10. Big play there. It was a 15% chance or 11% chance of a sack. The random roll was 15. Kenny Clark against Sam Mustafa. Fitzpatrick's picked his numbers up, 6 to 15. 2 white die 6s have helped on this drive. First and goal at the 7. 3-4, not showing blitz. See, I would stick with Gordon. I don't know why he brings in Gurley here. Gurley is not good.
Singletary and Gurley. Singletary's an edge runner. Guessed right. He's not great inside. None of his backs are good. Really that good. Guessed right inside, but that's where his blockers are.
Another guessed wrong.
Gurley's his best interior runner. Guessed right.
Oh.
I mean, it's not like a big
That's
difference.
not good though. Yeah.
But it's enough where if you've got, I could see from the 7 or 8 or 9 or whatever, maybe leaving Gordon in, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like if he's inside the 5, then yeah, you want to go with Gurley. But yeah, I don't like that matchup. This is the second time today that he's been inside the 10, thrown to Emmanuel Sanders and hit a blank guess wrong.
Rick.
One's on a 7, one's on a 4. Pass to Jonnu Smith, covered by a 6. Guessed right. Fitzpatrick comes through.
I was just thinking, you throw these passes, guessed wrong, and you end up throwing picks or getting fumbles or whatever, and you throw into like double coverage, and it's like a 28-yard dump off or something. It's just funny how it works.
It is. You can be right and wind up being wrong, and you can be wrong and wind up being the fantastic call. Fantastic roll anyway. So it's 20-17 now, just like mirroring their regular season game, which was.
They had a close one.
Yeah, it was I think 20-18 when the Chargers went down and got a last-minute field goal to win it. We're a long way from that though, but coming up toward the end of the third quarter here, guessed right flat pass there for 7.
I felt like on paper the Jets are the absolute worst team for me to match up against if I have to play them.
Well, it wouldn't be until the semifinals,
Yeah.
maybe not even until the finals, because they're as the sixth seed with myself and Joe still alive behind him. You're going to have to play us first.
Well,
So
there are no easy teams. A lot of these teams are all really good.
exactly. Guess right there for Ingram off tackle goes nowhere. I'll set up 3rd and 3. These are fun. These 3rd and short ones because we see him try to go over the top. We've seen all out blitz happen on some of those, and we've also seen some run calls stuff some flat zones. So there's a lot of possibilities here. Inside run to Ingram, guess wrong. And the right guard makes the block. Shaq Mason. Of course, everybody's going to make the block.
Yeah.
On that line is just like, so many chances of converting. 4-3 showing blitz. Paul's kind of begging Tom to go deep. Try to get a sack. Hey, baby, did you take her out already?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah, take her out right now. Hurry, she's been holding it all night. And there's that sack, and it's a big one. Grady Jarrett up against Shaq Mason. Puts him in a hole. 2nd and 22. Man, it's fun to have a defensive line like that and to see it come through.
I have all zeros on my starting defensive line, so I wouldn't know, but they do have pass rush.
Nice.
Good. It's a good matchup when you have an offense.
So is your team kind of like? I know you said it's offensive heavy, but
very offensive heavy.
What do you got on your D line? Like a bunch of 0-10s or
like
Yannick Ngakoue type guys?
I have a guy I can put in. I think is a nose tackle 4, but I have 0-7, 0-8, 0-11.
Oh wow! Oh yeah, look at it now. F.A. Obata, Jamon Hargrave, and Romeo Okwara. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, to go 14-2 starting 5 zeros. Wait a minute, 6 zeros on defense. Is that right? That's pretty impressive.
Well, they rush the passer and Mahomes scores points, so it's a good matchup. It's like the Colts back in the day.
Right. Nice. So there's
and I have 5 corners. That's if you're going to have the ratings. That's where you want them.
Exactly. So the Jets will have to punt here, and you got a wall of 5s and 7s protecting Mahomes too, which is nice. And of course, people are calling a lot more run against you with Gus Edwards and Boston Scott running the ball. So did you only use Antonio Gibson when there was an injury?
No, I bring him in here and there, and some guys never call runs, so I'll run 100 times if I have to.
Nice. Crossing better than guy. No, I'm sorry. I thought it was going to be a punt, but I guess that was only 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down, and he gets 5 of the 12 he needed, so now he'll have to punt. And it's a big one. It'll be down to the 1-yard line. Oh my goodness!
Wow, that's not where you want to be.
Not with that offensive line.
But I mean, yeah.
So what were you saying about Gibson and people not calling?
No, I mean,
I cut you off there.
I'm going to run Edwards out of carries, and then it's not unthinkable that Scott would get pretty low. I do like to try to keep 1 or 2 with either Scott or Edwards or both for short yardage late in the game.
Nice.
But
you must be looking forward to Cooper Kupp's card next year. Yeah, Kupp, Thielen, and Kittle.
I guess it's not going to be. I think we talked about this in the draft with Van Jefferson, where I'm still not convinced Van Jefferson won't have more yards on his card than Cooper Kupp will.
I guess we'll find out, but having the number 1 receiver in the league,
it's totally going to be good and nice and everything, but it's going to be like if I had Calvin Johnson for his whole career or Deshaun Jackson, I'd probably take Deshaun Jackson. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I love those receivers too.
Even though he was never, I don't think he was ever maxed. And
Right,
Calvin Johnson was, but I'll take the 4.56 or 5.56, like with those kinds of gains.
I'm going to hand the broadcast over to you. My son just came home from his nursing shift. I'm going to say good morning to him. So take over.
All right. It's like the Chargers only have to go about 94 yards against the best defense in the league here to take the lead anyway. Looking to Johnny Smith for a yard. Third and 4 here. Looks like a short pass to Aguilar. Foreman in zone incomplete. Well, at least he didn't get sacked or safety. Pretty good punt, too, with the bounce. Might be able to flip the field here down to the Jets 34. Guess strong off tackle, 6 yards. Can't tell how many carries Dobbins has left, but looks like he's had 10 carries so far, a couple carries left. Quick slant, but he's got 2 men there. Guessed wrong. Good thing he put the 2 men there. He would have got the 0 man in zone chart with the 6 roll. Saved a first down. I think the 4-3 is a lot harder to play. Can't flood the zones. Calls a run. Guessed right. Gets the good roll on the D card. 5 yards. First down. Paul showing blitz again. Square out left, 8-yard gain.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
We got, so I guess the Chargers couldn't move it much more than they had to punt. Is that what
Yeah,
happened?
they basically got to the 7 and punt. Had a good punt. Bounced an extra 10 yards to the 34. And Jets just converted on a 3rd and 3, I want to say. On a guess right around on the D card.
Picked up another first down there on Murray's card on 2nd and 2. So if you're the Chargers here, you're like, got to hold them to a field goal try to set yourself up for a last game-winning touchdown drive.
I almost think you just got to shut them out from the field. I mean, it's so hard to score a touchdown against these defenses. I wouldn't want to have like one chance at it.
Yeah, well, for sure. Yeah, you definitely don't want to give up any points, but you have to make some good calls here. And I think you brought in Dobbins there, got him guessed wrong for 6.
Has he been showing blitz the whole time?
Yes, he has, at least a lot when I jump back in. But Tom seems content to run it. 2nd and 4, he brings in Ingram.
Well, he could throw if he wanted. I mean,
Carr's such a good flat passer.
In this formation, particularly.
Right. He brings in Ricard as a 6'5" blocking back, which allows him to maybe go deep.
Well, with Dobbins, I think Dobbins is a 0 if it's a 2 tight end or something. Then
he keys him, but it's a square into Cooks. Guessed wrong on Carr's. Carr hits the receiver reading, 7 yards for Cooks, no fumble. So 1st and 10. Cooks is an underrated receiver. He never has like great Strat-O-Matic cards, but like he's one of those guys.
I like him. I tried trading for him in a couple leagues. Never was able to get him.
He's been traded so much in the NFL.
Yeah, he gets traded in the NFL quite a bit.
Okay, quick out left to Ingram. There's a 5 there. Picked up 5 on Carr's card. 2nd and 5. 6:54 to go in the game.
I think that Ingram card's pretty good. I think that was my tight end in so me for this year.
Yeah, it's amazing that he keeps hanging on to that 4.
I think his bomb card is actually really good this year. Yeah, he's got a good bomb card for a tight end. Really good.
Sideline right to Cooks. Guessed wrong. Linebacker in zone, +1/+4. Bradley Chubb can't make the play. So that defensive line is, I didn't realize it. You got Chubb's a 4.6, and he'll bring him down on occasion. 1st and 10 at the 13. Got to make your stand here. Dobbins in the game, begging Paul to run.
This is a tough spot with Dobbins out there. It does call pass.
Flushed for 50. It was a 55% chance of a sack. If he would have brought the linebackers, no, it still wouldn't have been. Buckner gets sharp with the random 82.
That's the most brutal, is when there is a dump off and you're like, man, I couldn't possibly bring any more pressure, really.
Right, not as much as you need.
But that also you're facing off against 3 7s and a 5, so I suppose that they get some credit too.
They have a chance. 2nd and 3. Look for a little Mark Ingram ground and pound with Murray. He tries to avoid any interception chances and just get this ball in the end zone. Remember, Okereke is a 5-0, or Korike. And the middle linebacker is also a 0. Inside run to Murray. Linebacker in zone, he smartly shifted free safety Marcus Williams down to the linebug zone, and that saved the touchdown, or at least saved the first down, I should say. 3rd and 3.
That linebacker rating in the interior right on the goal line almost cost me that Psalms for the game. It's really, really nice to have the higher rated guys either at safety or middle linebacker.
Nice. Yeah, and he could go to a 4-2-5 here, get rid of that 0 inside linebacker, but he leaves them in there. Isaiah Simmons. 4-3 showing blitz. J.K. Dobbins checks in instead of Latavius Murray. That's Mark Ingram's good guessed right for 3. Dobbins, you want him to guess wrong. So what are you going to do here on defense? Call run?
Dobbins inside run might be okay. It's just you wouldn't normally run him because of his value and a wasted carry. But
he gets the run call. 6 yards on Ingram's card. If he had gone with Dobbins' card, that probably would not have gotten in. But now you have a 10-point lead. And
was interesting that he ran off tackle there. Oh, that's something. He's not pacing a 3-4 though.
Right, but he ran to the side where Okereke and Isaiah Simmons, one of them would likely be with Marcus Williams. I didn't see who was in the off tackle zone, but
I was just thinking with the 3-4, the defensive card is so brutal in the off tackle that it's tough to run it unless you've got like I'll do it with Gus Edwards pretty often, but that's probably about one of the only guys I want to do it a lot with.
Right, but he runs a 4-3.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's a little bit different, but yeah, I know what you mean. They changed it. They changed it slightly.
Basically, I'm not used to seeing the off tackle runs, and because I don't run a 4-3, I guess.
Right. 27-17, Jets up, and we need some magic here, a big hit on Melvin Gordon's card or something, because 10 points against this Jet defense, that's a tough thing to conjure up with only 3:54 to go.
That's not a good start.
Yeah, dreaded 5. Maybe crank it up to Gabriel Davis if you're expecting a run call, but Tom really has very little reason to call run right now.
Yeah.
Just leave it up to his ratings and wait for the offense to try to hit something good on Gordon's card.
So if Tom wins, would you play New Orleans?
No, Tom would play New Orleans, and I would play
Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona.
I don't know how he got his record so good. Look, after I just looked at his team real quick, that's a very vulnerable looking team to me.
That's Kurt's coaching.
Yeah, I know. I figured it was the coaching, but it's not the ratings. It's not the quarterback. Pretty impressive.
You can't take anyone for granted, though.
No, well, especially when they're a good coach.
Yeah. He traditionally gives me problems. Kurt's beat me in a couple leagues with teams that you wouldn't expect to win.
You just threw all the teams in a hat and didn't say who was going to coach who. This would be the team you'd pick to want to play.
Yeah, I agree. The ratings are not there. He keys Ingram successfully.
Daniel Jones, I think, at quarterback, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I think he switches guys, though, right? Does he have
off? I mean.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, but 12 wins in this league with that team.
If one guy isn't turning it over enough for you, you can go to the backup. He should get the job done.
Zach Moss has got 1,300 yards. Pretty cool. So we'll see how that one goes. I did not play him in the regular season. It looks like you beat him 34-15.
Oh, I played him?
Yep.
I think.
Here's your game against Kurt.
I almost wonder if my team in Psalms was not a better offense just because of Drew Brees can hit the flats so much better.
Yeah, we'll see what Mahomes' card looks like the next set. Maybe that's a topic to bring up with Glenn, how the premium quarterbacks sometimes get dinged on the flat passes.
How they have the worst. How they have like the 37th best flat pass card in the set.
Yeah.
Although, based on his numbers in my league, I guess I can't complain this year.
Chargers needing a block punt or something here. And they don't get it. And they do have some long gains there. There's a long gain on 12 on the return, but Coffin cornered it smartly. So 1:45 to go, only 2 timeouts left, and he doesn't even bother with Gordon's card. He's going to straight out try to throw it down the field.
I don't know. I think I want to run some out of bounds, but down 10, I guess.
3-minute zone. Hits Fitzpatrick's 12 there.
You need like that long gain roll on the short pass.
Yeah, that's how he got his first field goal. He hit long gain on a 12, 3-minute zone to Gabe Davis for 59 yards to set up first and 10 inside the 20. Couldn't convert, but got 3 points out of it. So he kind of, this is the spot where you're like, if I get to the 30, I'm kicking a field goal right away. Just to give yourself a chance with the onside kick recovery. Chargers can't call timeout.
I mean, that's the thing is, well, I guess he can get out of bounds at least on these must runs, but
no, you cannot get out of bounds on a must run.
Ever.
That's one of the rules I've been nagging about for the last couple of years.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous because that you see guys like Russell Wilson or whatever.
They do.
Yeah, they must run it, then they run out of bounds.
I mean, that's even more of a reason for me to want my running back in then.
Yeah.
I mean, half your plays on your card are 9 of your 20 completions are must run, or 9 of your 20 plays that won't be an incompletion are going to be must runs.
Ooh, there's a defender X or plus 13. And interesting, that was against Byron Jones. If he had brought him back to the deep zone, that would have been a long game. If he had gone with the protecting the deep.
Would have what we were talking about.
Okay, so he's 13 yards away from field goal range, or 14 yards away. Defender makes the play there, Bashad Breeland. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, he needs to. He's not even that great, but 23 to 32, he's 2 through 8 and 12. But you probably have to take that chance because there's no guarantee.
Chance.
Yeah, it is. 4-minute zone. Gets to 12, so he needs one more first down.
And out of bounds. Yep.
Got out of bounds. Yep, white die 2, so he got out of bounds. He's been going to Parker and Davis. Let's see if he switches it up. He goes to Sanders or Aguilar. Goes to a flat pass to Aguilar. Trying to get enough to get a field goal chance. Does he get out of bounds again? He does not. Spike and field goal, I think, is what you do here. You're at the 30.
He's so close to that variable at 30. What is he, 30-yard line now?
Yeah, but the time is running out, man. What are you going to do? You got to kick it. Hope make it. Probably like a 50% chance of a field goal, but 58, something like that, 58%.
I might throw a bomb and see if I can get a must run for the first down, if nothing else.
And he gets the adjustment.
The variable.
It would have been good with a few more yards. But
it got modified by 4 yards.
Even though I feel like
you would have had it if it didn't get knocked back 2 yards.
Hold on 1 second. Take over.
Oh, I think it is over. Yeah, it's over. He's just going to kneel down here. A pretty tight game for most of it. I think Tom has this is a extremely good roster, ratings wise.
All right, I'm back. So there you go.
That was a tough one right up till, there was a 3-point game with like 9 minutes to go.
All right, so we got Paul saying your team is just too good. Well, he had a chance. But just you had to be perfect against that Jets team. And like you said, I think that they're really the sleeping giant in this year's playoff teams because they're going to slot in at the number 6 seed. But that talent, you could easily see them being the number 1 seed. That's how good that talent is.
I think the Jets and I think maybe the Giants, because of their offense, are the 2 teams I think are the toughest on paper.
And you'll get to face one of those teams.
because the Giants have Deshaun Watson, and who's his running back?
Let me pull it up over here.
Damian
Giants.
Harris. Damian Harris is a really tough back.
Right. And Raheem Mostert, who's got some big hits.
Oh yeah, I like him. He's actually a brutal inside runner. He's got like 26 combos where he gets positive yardage guessed right on a line buck.
Nice.
That's like Gus Edwards, basically. That's not to the extreme as far as the gains, but
Right. So we got New York Giants at LA Rams. We got Seattle, Arizona, and we got New York Jets at New Orleans. So there's your round 2 matchups, folks. Giants travel across the continent to face the Rams. Seattle and Arizona in a closer and familiar rivalry. Jets at Saints, Packers at Titans. All right, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Nathan, any last words before we get out of here?
no.
We got Tom coming. Hold on, we got the post game interview. What's up, Tom?
Team, I don't want
What's
to
up?
play.
What's up, Dennis and Nathan?
Please lose.
Yes.
If I win, I want you to lose. Tom, I don't want to play your team.
Tom, Nathan is already thinking ahead.
If you go ahead, Dennis.
He's going to do the double. He's going to face the Giants in round 2, and then if you win and he wins, it's going to be up against the Jets in the
I
semifinals.
don't really want to play the Giants either, so I don't want to play any New York team.
Well, you got to play somebody. It doesn't work. That doesn't work
If
that
I'm
way.
going to play a really tough team on offense, I just want them to have weakness on defense, so I know I can score with them.
Yeah. Well, this team, I don't know. This team, man. Coming into the season, I was like, oh man, I look at this team. They're so stacked. I was like, this team might, they could threaten to go undefeated. I think they'll go like 14-2 or something. And I was so frustrated early in the season. I had some really bad luck games. I couldn't get the offense going sometimes. I had some really crazy stuff happen. I was 6-5. I was 6-5 with this. I was 6-5 with this team, and I was just like, I was just so frustrated.
It happens. It's really weird. I had a talk with Dennis at the beginning. It was the first quarter, I think maybe the first game of the second quarter in SSFA, where he's doing a rebuild. But he was talking about his SSFA team, and he's needs to get together. And I just said I'm the same way. I started out 0-3 in SSFA, and then I won like 13 or 12 in a row or something like that. But it's just weird sometimes. You just get these weird runs with these teams are really good, or they should be.
Yeah, I mean, I could have coached better early in the season, but definitely. But also, I had some I definitely could have coached better. And there's even some games I won that I should have lost. I think I hit like 2 bombs in like the final minute to tie a game to get me into overtime to win it, or to tie one game and then win another game, set up a score late or whatever. It's I could have been worse than 6-5, although there was other games where it's horrible stuff happened. And my defense was playing shitty. They were playing awful. Do you know that? I think the first 8 games I played, definitely the first 7 and maybe the first 8, I did not give up under 20 points in any one game. I could have one game where I just give up 17 points even. With what do I have, 7 sixes on defense, 3 of the back 4, 3 of the 4 linebackers, and a little bit of pass rush. Not as much as you'd like, of course. We're not enough pass rush really, but
I'm never satisfied with pass rush.
Yeah,
and it's just more.
Yeah, and then it was just frustrating. It was just really frustrating. I was beating Green Bay 22-3. I was beating them 22-3 mid third quarter, and I lost with this defense. I was like, come on, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't even standing around all the time. It's I'm just it's one to win. It's double counting. I'm standing around with all 6s, and I'm going to win. No, it's I was still coaching. It was just really really frustrating. And I swear, if the first 11 games, if I didn't keep track of it, if I could keep track of Derek Carr's short pass wrong inside the 10, it had to be 31%. I kept getting like, I'll get short pass wrong, incomplete. Short pass wrong. I'm like, come on. I was like, I couldn't get like the simple plays. I'm like, I have the right play called. It's a big spot, and I just could not get a good result.
We were just talking about during the game with how ridiculous sometimes it is where you have the most perfect call and you get intercepted or something, and then you like throw into triple coverage and it's a completion or dump off for 30 yards,
Yeah. Well, this game.
constantly.
Yeah. Well, this game was crazy. I thought I might lose this game, and this game was crazy also. It's like, obviously Paul's a great coach. I mean, I don't want to face Paul in any situation. And like, I believe
pass rush, which is always can change things in a hurry, even if, especially with two tough defenses, and his strength is where your strength is at, which sometimes is okay, but lots of times, I mean, it's different coaching that way when you're facing all sixes on the other side too.
Yeah, all his on the front line, of course, but it was like, I played in the regular season, and it was like, I think I was beating him like, what was the final of that game? I lost 20-18. I think I was beating him like 18-6, like mid-third quarter. Just I couldn't stop him. Getting big plays, and like this game started, it's short pass, long gain on a 12 to Gabriel Davis, 59 yards. I'm like, here we go again, And then I was like, okay, great. I took control of the game, and then what happens? He's got like 3rd and 3, like his own 25, like 45 seconds left to half. 3rd and 4. I successfully run Key Melvin Gordon from a nickel. It was a ballsy call, but I had a feeling. Successfully run Key Melvin Gordon. I'm like, oh, great. Look at this. I did it, and I'm a big lead going to halftime. And then what happens? He punts. I fumble the punt. He picks it up and runs it like 35 yards for a touchdown. I mean, you're sitting like, what am I supposed to do? And then I got lucky. I mean, he threw that flat pass interception he threw early in the second half was huge. But it's like, I don't know. Just like this team it feels like it's just never easy with this team. It's really frustrating.
Yeah. Then right after that, when you got the ball back, you threw a flat pass interception split, and yours was like a pick on 2-3, and you rolled a 4. So it's like you almost gave it right back.
Yeah, and then part of that is having Derek Carr versus Ryan Fitzpatrick, because Patrick throws his pick is on a 10 and mine's at 11. His is 2-4 and 12, and mine was 2-3 and 12 or something like that. But on 11, but I started managing the offense a lot better late in the season. As you see, I scored. Now my game, because I had all those problems with the computer and everything, and my health problems, I was way behind, so I had to play a whole bunch of games. So it's like I didn't play Detroit until like a few weeks ago, which is a first quarter game. But if you look at like my fourth quarter games, and the competition wasn't as good outside of Kansas City, I scored 110, 145. I scored 177 points in the last 4 games. I ended up with you, Nathan, over 500 points for the season. And look at my record. I'm 11-5. My point differential was like plus 205. But it just felt like, I don't know, 11-5 for this team was just very disappointing.
Yeah, we're talking about Nathan's offense. He scored over 500 points, 510 points, but you scored 504 points. You're right there.
Yeah.
And your defense was just as good. Actually, your defense was almost the best in the league. You were like a few points off the best offense and a few points off the best defense.
Yeah,
worst matchup for me. He has all 6s on his line, and my D line's all 0s. And then on his side of the ball, his defense is just, I mean, what do you got, like 7 6s or something like that?
I got 7 6s and the rest are 5s.
Yeah.
And it's 5 6s in the back 7. 2 of my 5s on the defensive line, which is not bad, right? So, your other 6s in coverage, right? So I got 5.
If I even ever have to worry about advancing here, I'm not thrilled with playing the Giants in my first round matchup.
Yeah. So your first game against the Giants, you lost 27-21. So that was one of only 2 losses you had all year. And it looks like the game was tied at halftime, and the Giants took control in the second half. So,
well, I can tell you if I only scored 21, I mean, obviously with my team, I definitely need to score more than that.
Yeah, and that was a bad game for Mahomes. Only completed 46% of his passes. Watson completed 71% of his passes. So, it sounded like that was maybe a little bit of a dicing situation there. But that'll be good.
When you're facing a combo like Watson and Harris, you're going to get a lot of, and Mostert, you're definitely going to get a lot of guessed wrong on defense
Right.
more than you normally do.
Kind of like the same problems that facing your offense is, where you have Mahomes and
Well,
Gus
that's why
Edwards.
the only reason I think Mahomes has done well for me, because I basically built up a massive team around him, and so he can definitely,
Yeah.
be dominant.
Yeah, that's the only reason Mahomes is that good.
Do that.
Because
Do
he's
that
really not that good a player.
without.
Well, it's hard to replicate his goodness, his greatness in Strat. Sometimes that's the way it is with all the top quarterbacks. You get to a ceiling where you only, Strat only put so many hits on there.
Well, they make him
That's the
slightly
coach.
better than some of the other dominant quarterbacks on the short pass, slightly better on the long pass, and then like the 40th quarterback on the flat. So,
Yeah.
And that also plays in for dump offs, so it doesn't help for that either.
Yeah,
So,
well, if you look at the stats, there's so many. So many guys are up there statistically. It's hard. There's only slight variations or whatever.
Exactly. So, Tom, you did not play New Orleans in the regular season, from what I see.
No, I did not play the New Orleans regular season. Is that who I have to play next? I thought I might be playing him next.
Yes,
Okay.
you get Scott and the New Orleans Saints in round 2.
My all-time team.
Who's your all-time team?
My SSFA team last year, he bounced me in the first round.
Last year, like we were talking about my team, like last year, Nathan's team was amazing. I think his team last year was better than my team this year. People look at my team this year like, oh my god.
I'd take that team I had last year over any team.
Yeah, that team was amazing. And then what happens? It's just it's a one-game thing.
First round. It was just like I just didn't stop a thing. I just got thrashed.
Yeah, and that's why it's so hard to win a championship in the NFL. It's so hard to win a championship in SSFA. Like if Nathan's team would have played my team in SSFA, maybe I wouldn't have won the championship last year. You know what I mean? Like there's little weird things like that. Like I needed him to get bounced out, so I had an easier path to get to the championship game. So all those little things make a difference.
This is what you call famous last words, but I usually do pretty well against Scott. Like I feel like I usually beat him like in a fairly close game. He's got Ryan Tannehill, Nick Chubb, and Aaron Jones. That's going to be tough. Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins. His defense is not that great, but he's got some good pass rush on the edges.
Tannehill's a little like Mahomes this year. He's not that great on the flats. I like playing Tannehill. Obviously he can go off and beat the hell out of you if he's rolling on his card, but you can get after him blitzing for sure.
I hear. I'm looking at him here.
So one quick thing while you're looking at the card,
He's also got.
You had 2 disconnects on the first drive of the game.
That's correct.
And then after that, I'm assuming you rebooted and everything was smooth.
I rebooted, but I also changed my internet channel, which I think is what I did last time. To make it work better.
Oh, interesting. So you might have some
funky stuff going on with one channel. Who knows? When it comes
right.
to Strat only. Otherwise, of course, there's no problem. I don't know. But yeah, he's got a left tackle 5. Taylor Decker. This guy's got a 5.5. Myles Garrett's been going. He only had 8 sacks in the regular season, but it seemed like sometimes he's been having some really good games. Whenever there's not a 7 there, and it's not like I'm free safety blitzing like crazy. He just seems to be like doing really well in those situations. So maybe that'll be helpful.
Well, you definitely face a lot more 7s at defensive end than you do.
I think it's going to come down to whether or not I get hit with sack. Oh, did I get disconnected?
Nope.
No, you're here.
Oh. Did I?
No, I hear you.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, I realized I changed my internet channel. Oh yeah, that was my fault. But his offense looks really good. It probably comes down to whether or not I get sacked because his defense is not that great, but he's got some pass rush. Trey Hendrickson, 12-3. Nose tackle 7. Then he's got outside linebackers, 12 and 11. My guards are not the strongest for pass blocking, only a 5 and a 4. But everyone else is a 7. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, he opted to play a 3-4 with Jaron Reed. So that guy will be a 4-7 nose tackle. So maybe run some draws or something like that.
Oh. So I don't even need the draw. Then it's got a lot of blocking. His inside linebackers are both 4s. He's going to watch out for Quandre Diggs coming to the line of scrimmage. I suspect he doubles a lot and fills the flats when he blitzes. But yeah, that'll be helpful. Yeah, nose tackle
That's
forward,
good.
inside linebackers four is against my blocking. That really helps. And of course, they've got a good passing game with Derek Carr, so it's not like you can just be like, oh, I mean, it's modern football, so you always got to defend the fight anyway. But yeah, so I don't. We'll see. I don't know. It could be a close game. But nice to like this game, like Paul only scored a field goal until that stupid fluky punt return play in the last 30 seconds of the first half. And I was like, oh, finally my defense is like coming up with like a big game, and then it didn't happen. But they did end up third in the league, fourth in the league in points allowed, fourth in points allowed. That's not bad.
But that was still a big game because you only gave up 12 first downs total, 2 through 10 on third down, 0 for 1 on fourth down. So the defense came up big when it needed to, and it really kept forcing the Chargers and punching all the way.
For your guys' teams, I think
I might have stopped
matchups against the next two teams you're playing.
Say that again, Nathan.
For your guys' offense, I think that you've got pretty good matchups like you're talking about. Sometimes it's just matchups in the playoffs. Like I don't want to play against the Jets because of the matchups.
Right.
You got these teams look like you can definitely work with. You can attack them, and you can probably score on them.
Right. But again,
but you never know.
Exactly. One
you never know, but you'd rather never know with your best chance. I mean,
sure.
I'll
go all in. Yeah, of course.
I'll go all in with aces. You never know, but that's your best situation. I'm going to do it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna jump off.
So who are you playing, Dennis?
I'm playing the Arizona Cardinals and Kurt Retzlaff, who's like my nemesis, he always seems to trip me up in the playoffs. So we'll see if I can get past him.
I'll be rooting for him.
All right, so what are the matchups real quick before we go, Dennis? So it's Joe Golden against Nathan. It's me against Scott.
It's right here.
Kurt. Okay.
Tennessee round one,
right?
Yeah, the round one, all the 9, 10, 11 seeds all lost. So it's just check out the standings. 1 versus 8, Rams and Giants, Cardinals and Seahawks, Jets and Saints, and Packers and Titans. Here's the matchups.
Did Joe Hamrahi coach his game? I know he's been having some issues.
Who is he?
What is substitute coach?
Yeah, no. Yeah, for the Chiefs, it was against. I faced the Hammer.
Did you coach?
So yeah, it was a good game.
You faced the Hammer, okay.
Yeah, I faced the Hammer. I just wound up getting a little bit more. I got a lead and just kind of held on.
Whoa, is that double overtime for Joe and Ed?
Yes, I talked to Joe about that game, and I actually talked a little bit on the broadcast. He had tied it up. Ed tied it up with 45 seconds left. Then in overtime, the Giants blocked a punt against the Niners, so it was like first overtime punt. Then Joe missed a short field goal. 2 through 10 or 2 through 9, Tyler Bass. And then they went to second overtime. Minka Fitzpatrick picked off Drew Brees for the third time. It was his third interception. I don't know who got the first two. And that set up the game-winning field goal from 31 yards. So Tyler Bass got a chance at redemption and cashed it in. But yeah, beating Ed is one thing, but beating Ed in double overtime, that's like, wow. It's like a unicorn, and that rarely happens or never happens.
I think I might have.
Joe seems to. Say it again, Nathan.
Said I think I've beat Ed in the playoffs one time before. It might have been the year I faced you in the Super Bowl.
I've beaten Ed a couple times, but I've lost him like a dozen times. So it's not easy.
I know that in your summer leagues, Dennis, the battle royales and all that stuff, Joe Golden, he seems to always play. Like every one of his playoff games seems to be decided by field goal. It's always like a 3-point game in battle royale. Something with Joe Golden when he was losing the Super Bowl. So I don't know if it's that way over here, but he plays. But Joe's a very solid coach. He just, he never seems to blow. He rarely blows people out, and he never really gets blown out. He's always hanging around there. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yep. Jersey Joe. We'll see. what goes on in round 2 against Jersey Joe and Nathan. So. All right, Final words, guys.
So, no, I'll see what happens. I'll play. I have like no confidence. I have no confidence in this team at all. I have no confidence in this team at all. It's good as they are on paper, just because of the way they played. So I go out there and I play them, but it's like, they just annoy me. They really annoy me. I like my 6-10 so 8-15 better. At least they played. they were like 6-6, and I'm like, oh, they're like tryhards,
Gotcha. But I think that you can continue to be annoyed with your team as they advance round by round in the playoffs, and we'll see what happens. And good luck to both you guys in the next round. Let's hope all three of us make it to the final.
You do that.
I'm voting against you two. I'm not voting for either of you to make it.
I hear you. I'm looking forward to it. I will try to call your games. So let me know when you guys are playing. I'll keep an eye open for it.
All right.
Thanks, guys. I have no rooting interest. I'm regarding anyone else. It's like I just like whatever my team does. We'll see what happens. So
maybe I'll play my game first. So if I
lose,
lose, I can go for you.
That'd be good. But I think you're going to win. All right, guys.
And Matt, when you throw your game, then you can root for me.
All right, man. We'll see you guys.
See you later.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.